Women can't lead. Women can't win. They will always be outsmarted and outmuscled. Why? The first reason is affection. Women are compassionate and giving. That will throw the entire commercial or professional enterprise out of whack. Basically, if you need someone who's going to close the deal, you naturally turn to a man. The second thing we rely on is history. Men have been leaders for so long. The traits associated with leadership are often thought of as masculine and not viewed as favorably when exhibited by women. The third reason is fewer connections. Men still surpass women in having the networks to learn about opportunities. Men know more, they have more connection, and it's easier for them to get access to information. And the last point is about lack of flexibility. Balancing work and family can be a challenge that limits women from seeking leadership. All of these are ideas and stereotypes created because of discrimination. But recently, things changed and the impossible became possible. Here is how it went. For centuries, men have stayed at the forefront of society, ruling countries and providing for their families financially, while women worked tirelessly in the background, cooking, cleaning, and rearing children. Women raised the males who would go on to become educated and obtain public leadership positions. With the rare expectations of female powerhouses, women didn't question the rigid role society had assigned them based on their gender, and simply fell in line with the life they were predestined to lead, leaving the rich resource of their leadership potential outside of the home untapped. As we offer our perspective on how women's leadership has evolved, it is with the recognition that this evolution has not looked the same for all cultures. In this video, we will dip more into women's leadership across three main cultures: the Moroccan, the American, and the Chinese.
En tant que femme marocaine, je pourrais vous dire que la notion du leadership des femmes a connu une évolution très considérable pendant ces dernières années. En effet, de nos jours, la femme joue un rôle très important dans notre société. Elle constitue la moitié de cette dernière et comme on dit en arabe, al-mar'atu nisful mujtama'. Par ailleurs, le leadership d'une femme ne cause plus un problème. Les femmes sont connues par leur sérieux, l'égalité, l'échange et la transmission du savoir et aussi la communication en toute transparence. Les femmes sont responsables et donc elles peuvent diriger une société de la même manière qu'un homme peut le faire. Et je parle en connaissance de cause. En effet, plusieurs témoignages ont prouvé ceci. Et je vais vous en présenter deux cas.
I may say that nowadays we are living in a very exciting and critical historical moment with respect to leadership and to social change for both genders. And I do really feel proud about that because we as women, we are starting to take the challenge to become more and more powerful and to for male dominated fields, and also to throw away those idea of not taking on leadership roles in order not to be branded as bossy and too assertive. The world has known a huge number of super powerful women that made history and that everyone should appreciate and respect. For example, there is Émilie du Châtelet. She was like a French scientist who helped developing the modern concept of energy, and her theories were on par with Newton, but was suddenly forgotten for.
حسب رأيي الشخصي أنا ضد لفظ قيادة نسوية. أنا مع القيادة أيا كانت رجالية أو نسائية أو هما معا، شريطة أن تكون هذه القيادة قيادة ذات جدارة واستحقاق. بالتالي فلا ضير عندي أن يكون جل البرلمانيين نساء، شريطة أن يمثلن الشعب أحسن تمثيل. ولا ضير عندي أن يكون جل البرلمانيين رجالا، شريطة أن يمثلوا الشعب أحسن تمثيل. في هذا اللفظ إقصاء للرجال، وفيه أيضا إهانة للمرأة.
China has one of the highest rates in the world of women participating in the labor force, but they are competing with men on an equal footing in the workplace. Chinese women face various forms of workplace discrimination across the board, as is clearly visible in China's state-owned companies, where women rarely rise to leadership positions. To have an explication of these facts, let's ask a Chinese teacher in Morocco. According to the Chinese teacher, statistically, there are far less women in the leadership position compared to men. Women's leadership is primarily about resilience, courage, flexibility, listening, collaboration, caring, and collective contribution. Or women are emotional and couldn't do a good job. I met many men who are caring but hesitant, and many women who are strong, determined but careless. Hence, I don't think that certain traits only belong to a certain gender. And women's leadership only means the leadership of someone who is efficient, determined, have all the traits required for a leader. According to the same person, before talking about Chinese perception of women's leadership, I would like to say something about the status of women in Chinese society. The equality of men and women has been written in the constitution since the establishment of the People's Republic of China. The sentence "Fon Yunan Dian Ban Bian Tian" means women can hold up half of the sky, and the sentence "Nan Yu Dape Gan Hu Bule" means male and female match work is not tired. There is a thing called Ban Kampu, which means class leaders in Chinese school. The distribution of class leaders in sex is always equal. However, when we grow up, most leaders we face are men. Although there are many female leaders such as Fu Yin, the chairperson of the National People's Congress Foreign Affairs Committee, and Du Menzu, chairwoman of Grey Electric. The social status of women is still lower than men in a way, and sexual discrimination in job markets still exists. The stereotypes about women, such as gossiping and controlling, are also held by some people when they think of female leaders, which combined with their inconfident feeling of being beat by a woman, might cause their dislike of female leaders. In a word, women's leadership is supported by many people, while there are some voices of complaining female leaders' working style.
Throughout history, women have ruled all over the world, leading monarchies, being voted in as presidents, and taken on leadership positions in firms and organizations, both large and small. In July, history was made in American leadership as Hillary Clinton became the first woman to be nominated to become the President of the United States. As Hillary Clinton has achieved this milestone in US history, it's essential to look at the current environment of which women in America are living who want to reach the heights. In 2013, the United States was ranked 60th out of 136 countries in the World Economic Forum's Gender Gap Index, which provides a measure in gender-based disparities in health, economy, politics, and education. When looking at female representation in the government, we have a record number. In 2015, 104 women took their seats in the Congress, comprising 19.4% of the 535 members. 20 women serve in the Senate, and 84 women serve in the House. In addition, we have 4 women delegates representing American Samoa, the District of Columbia, Guam, and Virgin Islands in the United States House of Representatives. The Pew Research Center found that a majority of Americans perceive women as being as equally capable as men at being political leaders, and the same can be said in the view of women in the corporate sector. The combination of these cultural and structural barriers, among other barriers, create an environment in which women are not moving along the pipeline and taking more leadership positions. Creating an environment for women to display their skills is essential for not only the female population but for society as a whole. The progression of communities is only improved with the balanced presence of men and women, each gender bringing in their own set of experiences, enabling for a well-balanced set of perspectives, skills, and abilities to successfully get work done. America has become one more country on the list to bring forth a woman to lead the country, a moment that cannot be forgotten within the history of America. With the nomination of Hillary Clinton, the US and the world will await for what that means for American society. But the one thing that is certain is that one more girl can look up and believe that she can be all that she aspires to be.
And now, let us end our video in beauty with the pride of Morocco. Moroccan women leaders who overcame many obstacles and paved the way for future generations of strong, independent women. Of course, there are many, but let's talk about the story of Mariam bin Saleh. A career that is without any doubt worth mentioning is that of Mariam bin Saleh, known as a fighter woman with an exemplary sense of organization. If we call her la patronne des patrons, there is of course a reason. This Moroccan businesswoman, the first woman at the head of the leaders, is one of the most influential women in Morocco and in Africa. Mariam bin Saleh Shkroun, born in 1962, is a laureate of both l'École supérieure de commerce de Paris de l'Université Paris 9 Dauphine and the University of Dallas, where she prepared an MBA, Master of Business Administration, at International Management and Finance. In 1990, she joins her family-owned group Moroccan as an administrator and is named head of one of its affiliate companies, Eau Minérale d'Ouelmès. She was elected president of Confédération Générale des Entreprises du Maroc in 2012 and is re-elected in 2015. You can feel a perfectly congruent Mariam bin Saleh with her own ideas when you know how much the different responsibilities demands on her. Those responsibilities that make her know she can never give up and that she must keep fighting and hanging on. Despite all the contacts, all the knowledge, despite her situation, despite the power that her position confers on her, she remains solid and she moves forward. As for you, young students who are watching this video, remember that for this brilliant path, all started with a business school. Mariam bin Saleh, Najat Belqasem, and Kautar Hafidi, to name but a few. Moroccan women and women all around the world in general show great capacities in leadership. Yes, women can lead. Yes, women can win.